You're getting blown apart by the Ogre. Yeah, that's the hard part. What build are you using for the Ogre? The best option for Titan? Not even sure, to be honest. I don't play Titan very much, and none of the abilities really stand out. Solo PvE stuff. Maybe you could get away with Skull Fort. Top tree. Telesto and Hammerhead. Ooh, it's not very good for DPS against the Ogre. Prospector would be better than Hammerhead there for sure. If you have Tractor Cannon, it's actually really good for dealing with the wizards. That was a tiny bit more dangerous than I would have liked to have been, but it's a-okay. Are you still chasing me? Okay. You're still chasing me too. Hey guys, me again. Man, I love the Shattered Throne. What a great activity. Glad to have you here, Fundament. Yeah, Tractor Cannon is definitely not the first thing that comes to mind as an offensive weapon a lot of the time, but particularly if you're thinking about using anything else for DPS, Tractor Cannon is definitely more respectable than it's given credit for. Who's the other guy that's stopping this from spawning? Oh, I already did. Hey. This build is ridiculous, dude. Bird diving down. Oh, wrong door. Looks like I'm losing combination blow. Man, it is so nice to have a melee ability that doesn't instantly go away the moment you aren't looking at an enemy. There are way too many in the game like that. This melee build is kind of similar to like when I discovered Titan skating for the first time. Learned it from AE Gabriel, who I don't even know if he plays Destiny anymore at all, but that completely changed how I wanted to play the game for a while. So I guess this isn't really on the exact same level, because this is like fun to play with for sure, but it doesn't make Titans go from being not fun at all to the only class I want to play. But it does actually feel like way different than everything else available. Almost messed up. Almost. We're good. I'm a tech now. Whoa! Dodge wasn't up. We're just riding it close to the ledge the entire time. By close to the ledge, I mean close to the edge. That's dangerous. That's very, very dangerous, actually. Yeah, it would have definitely been a hell of a lot better to have had any long-range weapon on, so I could have dealt with that before jumping to the actual skinny little platform thing. Like if I had shot it from there, that would have been safest. Do you think the new Arma 2.0 will expand that kind of build, like more possibilities? I have no idea. My expectations are not really set yet, because it looks like Armor 2.0 is going to have essentially just a lot more mods we can put on it, but the mods are going to be seemingly maybe replacing the perks on gear. So, I'm not really sure how we're going to... I don't really know if they're actually going to change the way that we play with our armor much. It might just be the first time we actually get to dabble in customization, but I don't know for certain that it's actually going to like increase our strength. And actually, in a Polygon article that I read today, talking about it, it was either Luke Smith or Mark Noseworthy, one or the other, saying they don't actually know for sure how much stronger they want to make us with the new gear either. So it looks like it's mostly different, not necessarily stronger. I think it definitely does need to be stronger personally, because armor just currently doesn't matter a lot of the time. Like when I have a chest piece on, I don't really care what chest piece it is. The only thing that really matters on most gear is just recovery. And I feel like that's super silly. I mean, I'd like to wear reserve perks for the weapons that I've got on, but most of the time it doesn't even matter that much what weapons I've got on. If I get special drops, I have ammo. If I don't get special drops, I don't have ammo, and special ammo finder doesn't even change that. A lot of the return of armor perks so much, they really aren't that impactful. We're not sure about that. Unless you're talking about the change from year 1 armor to year 2 armor. But I definitely do agree if you're talking about year 1 to year 2 armor. I think they just need to be okay with the idea of giving us armor that really, really makes a difference as legendary gear. Like, because we should be able to expect players to have reasonably good armor if they're in endgame content. You should be able to get the best armor from endgame content. I don't know. Non-endgame gear is too strong in general, but especially so when it comes to armor. Like, you can get enhanced perks on endgame armor. Speaking specifically about Iron Banner, Dreaming City, and Raid Gear. Might be some exception I'm not thinking of, but it's exotics.
My name is Pure Ido.
No, I think the idea of the Menagerie trick sleeves was that if there was a player in year 1 who liked to do double sidearm or to include a sidearm in their loadout, it would wind up being a big improvement for their build because they would have some really nice handling on it and that sort of thing. But I think the problem is that somehow they did not realize that sidearms are not fun weapons and people do not like them as a whole. Anybody who says they like them probably doesn't actually use them. Really don't see people actually equipping sidearms almost ever, at least on PC. At least on PC. I'm a tank now. I like sidearms, they make for great legendary shards. In all seriousness, that's pretty much the extent of what they're useful for. I don't know, I've had a handful of people defend them over time, but I really do think that sidearms are one of the worst things that's ever happened to Destiny, because in Destiny 1, when they introduced sidearms, weapons consistently got weaker for a while. And I feel like the balance shift of power over the course of Destiny 1's lifespan was, like, significantly less fun, at least in PvP, as things went on. And it's not to say it was ever terrible, but it went from a good place to a worse place. Kind of like Menagerie. Or like Menagerie, before they fixed the chest exploit, was just fun. It was a good activity. I liked playing it. Now that the chest exploit is fixed, is not anywhere near as desirable. I don't really want to play it anymore. Like I did it for 2 characters powerful drops, and then I was kind of like, why am I even doing this? Like I don't even need powerful drops, and I'm definitely not going to get the assault mag full auto trench barrel shotgun that I'm trying to get with 1 drop at a time, maybe 2 if I'm lucky. Like 2 if I'm lucky is so bad compared to 6 if I'm unlucky. It's a little dangerous. Kind of asking to die if I go in there. I'm spamming at the doorway. What's Menagerie? I thought they removed it from the game. I mean, honestly though, they like might as well have. At least for me. Like, it's really great for leveling people up. That's cool. For a max level player, it's inconsequential at this point. Won't have ammo. Refunded for the stuff I wasted on them. I jumped, but it's okay. My big toe probably clipped to the ground as I was jumping. What does Liar's Handshake do exactly? Liar's Handshake gives you a buff called Cross Counter when you get meleeed or when you melee. Like when I get punched by this throw, I'll say cross counter on the left side. See? Bam. Or if I punch this guy, cross counter. While cross counter is active, your next melee does 3 times normal melee damage. Not 100% sure of the actual details in PvP, but in PvE that stacks really, really nicely with 1-2 punch and combination blow. And tractor cannon, obviously. But what doesn't stack with the tractor cannon nicely? Is it hit or kill? Hit. Or kill. Both. Is there anything next week? I don't think so. Solstice doesn't start next week, does it? Alright, dueling car. It's time to die. 4 punches, suboptimal. That situation right there is exactly why Emperor's Courtesy is the better shotgun for solo Riven, by the way. It's like, look how long it takes to shoot in melee twice. It takes a really long time to get that shotgun shot out, whereas when I use Badlander, see how much quicker the shot comes out after the second melee? Yeah, it's the terrible handling speed on this that causes that. But even if this has really great handling, Emperor's Courtesy is still the better shotgun. Both because it's a lightweight frame, which gives it intrinsically higher handling, and also because it can get 7 in the magazine, which is really nice. And it comes with a god roll by default. Grave Robber 1 2 punch, that's exactly what you want. This is about as good as the Last Man Standing gets, minus the masterwork, and the fact that it doesn't have Barrel Shroud, but a god roll Last Man Standing is still pretty clearly inferior. Yeah, you can get that from Reckoning when it's Night Week. And if you have a 1 2 punch shotgun, Liar's Handshake, combination blow, Tractor Cannon, damage is nuts. Imagine farming for a Last Man Standing to solo Riven for it to turn out to be useless. It's not useless. You can solo Riven with a shotgun like what I've got. It's just way harder.